Okay, it looks like we're live. I'm pretty sure we're live. Hey, I'm here with Jolie Elan, and thank you everybody for being here. Can you just type in the chat and let me know that you can hear us, that you can hear me? Okay, let's see. Yep. All right. Oh, I see some. So just say, "Yep." Can you hear us? Okay, good. Welcome. Okay, so we're here for this final Herbal Medicine Circle gathering, and I'm so excited for this tea ceremony with Jolie Elan, and I'm sure it's just the last 2 evenings have been incredible. And this past autumn, Jolie and I, we both spoke at a plant medicine panel at the Pioneers Conference, and I instantly fell in love with her and her work with acorns. And Jolie, she's the director of the Go Wild Institute. And I know, Jolie, you're all about weaving science, myth, and spirit to find the balance in all of this. And yeah, so we're in good hands tonight. Jolie, she teaches botany for herbalists. She's the director. You can find her at gowildinstitute.org. And she, she's told me that her mission is to help people tap into the wisdom during this time. So I'm going to sign myself off here, and let's see. Can everybody, just before I do, can you please just type in the chat and say you can hear us? Okay, we're all good. All right. So Jolie, welcome.
Thank you so much. I feel so honored to be here and part of this medicine circle. And yeah, I think the feeling is mutual. When I saw you at Pioneers, I fell in love with you too. So even just before our even talk, where we did a little hand holding in the beginning and really brought in spirit into what we do. And I love that. So I feel honored. I feel honored that all of you have joined from wherever you are, and that you have a desire to join with people all over, and the plants and the medicine from the plants, and be able to share that medicine with everybody. I just realized that the part of my kitchen that I didn't clean is showing. So I'm gonna just be okay with that, because it's a pandemic. And I was I thought I was doing so good. I cleaned that part of my kitchen, and but there you are. You can see my whole kitchen.
It looks fine.
Yeah, no, it's good. So I was hoping that we could focus today a little bit about our connection to the earth and the plants. And we've been really calling in our prayers and putting them out to people who need them, and making our medicine. And I wanted to focus on the part of the medicine that comes from the earth, and the healing power of our Mother Earth, and how we can tap into that. So I'm hoping we can just get grounded in our seats, and feel our feet on the floor, and take some deep breaths. All right, maybe we've had crazy days. We've been trying to educate our kids, or running around, or doing essential work, or who knows. We've had days in a pandemic. So let's all just kind of ground down, and feel our bottoms on our seats. Come home to ourselves, to our breath. And, we walk around as if we need to get connected with nature. People often say that, oh, I need to go connect to nature. And to some degree that's true, but we are so connected to nature. If you breathe, take a breath. That breath was in a tree, right? That breath came to us from the plants. Every breath we take, we are inspiring what the trees are breathing out, and they are inspiring what we are breathing out. So every breath we take, we're moving. We are part of this web of life. And so, what is one of the magical things about plants is that they take in sunshine and they draw water up through their bodies and into their solar panel leaves. And then they take in our exhausts and our exhales, and they turn sunshine into sugar. They turn sunshine into sugar. And that is the currency of our universe. Well, our planet. That is the currency of our Mama Earth. That's what runs the show, sweetness, right? We are in a web of life that is woven with sweetness from sunshine. And people say, oh, money is the currency. Yeah, to some people, but really the currency is sweetness and sugar. And yeah, we're part of that. And any belief that we have that we're somehow separate from it is part of this disease on our planet, this other psychic virus that is causing us to destroy our Mother Earth. And so I want you to just breathe. I'm going to do a little guided meditation for just a few minutes, okay? So maybe just shut your eyes and breathe in. Feel your lungs fill with air. Feel your diaphragm expand. Feel, hopefully, the energy start dropping down from your head into your heart, into your pelvis, into your feet. All right, breathing with all of life. Maybe you can pay attention to the feeling of the breath as it goes in and out of your nostrils. Maybe you feel it on your lip. And just take some easy breaths. You don't have to push it or try to breathe any particular way. And after a while, we might notice that it takes no effort to breathe. It's like life is breathing us. We are being breathed by life. I'm being breathed by life. You're being breathed by life. Your cat sitting next to you maybe is being breathed by life. The fish swimming in the great, beautiful oceans around the coral, they are being breathed by life in all of their gorgeous colors. And the eagles in the sky who can fly really high, they are being breathed by life. And the trees that sit sentinel in your yards or in your neighborhoods, they're being breathed by life too. So we're going to move in our meditation from the element of air into the element of earth. And I want you to see if you can feel your bones, the bones that carry us around. I want you to feel those bones sort of heavy in your legs, in your feet. Those bones, the minerals from our bones, they came from rock, of our Mother Earth. All that calcium that's in our bones, it came from rock. Some plants and some fungus broke it up and it came in and we ate it and we built our bones from rock. We are walking rocks. We have a rocky nature. Now we're going to move to the element of water, our precious water that is all of life comes from water. Every cell in our body is made of water. We are mostly water beings. We are bodies of water that has the same salty constituency as the oceans because we have come out of the oceans. And they say that water has memory. So inside us are glaciers and waterfalls. and puddles and rain and clouds. We have that inside of us. Those molecules have been all over for billions of years. And we are that too. You can feel the water in your mouth and your tongue and your nose. We're just moving water around. That's what we do. We drink it, we pee it. We are water bodies. It's in our eyes. Now we're going to move to the fourth element of fire. Fire. So in each one of our cells, there is fire. That is how our cells live. We burn calories, which are sugar. So in every cell in our body, we are fueled by that sugar from sunshine. We are fueled by sunshine. We are fueled by that sweetness in the web of life. We are powered on sugar. That sweetness, and I want to call forth that sweetness of our Mother Earth that sustains everything into this circle tonight. That love. And my prayer is that we honor her and that we come back into balance. So take another breath or two, deep breath. Rest in that sweetness and start feeling your feet on the ground again, and maybe wiggle your fingers and toes and come back into the room. So maybe we could just hear a little bit, just like a couple words, like how was that for folks? Do people feel a little more grounded? Maybe Cami can tell me. Or not. Okay. So I'm going to make peppermint tea. And Cami said, can we just make it very simple, make a simple tea? And I thought peppermint. And for me, the way that I handle stress, or usually when I know I'm stressed, is when I get my tummy hurts. I kind of metabolize stress in my digestive system. And so when Cami was like, do a simple tea, I was like, peppermint is perfect. And I've been really drinking a lot of peppermint tea lately. And it's relaxing and stimulating. It's cooling, it's warming, and it's sort of an herb of paradox. And since we're in paradoxical times, I thought peppermint is perfect. So I'm going to start making tea. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some water. And this is water that I got from a spring near me, because I'm really lucky to live in a place that has such beautiful, clean, flowing water in Ashland, Oregon. And so I gathered this water. And like I said, water has memory. And this water has been all over the world. And I am so grateful for it. And I'm so grateful that it's going to help us make our tea. And you can use whatever water you want, obviously, but I wanted to use some sacred water for this. So I'm going to pour it in my teapot. Thank you, water. Thank you, water. I love you. I saw Grandma Aggie. I don't know if you guys know Grandma Aggie. She's Tequila Indian. She just died this year, sadly. She was in her 90s, and she was a really amazing teacher. And she was one of the 13 indigenous grandmothers. And she always talked about the water. She would say, whenever you drink water, or whenever you wash your hands, or whenever you're in water or taking a shower, just try to say, thank you, water, I love you. Thank you, water, I love you. Because it can feel that. And it makes our medicine much stronger. And every cell in our body is water. If we love water, we're going to love ourselves too. Okay, so I'm going to take my teapot and I'm going to plug it in. So you probably can't see it, but I'm plugging it in, turning it on so it gets warm. So you guys might want to start your water boiling. And yeah, it's boiling. So I want to tell you a little story about one of my teachers, Bobby Lake Tom, who he was an amazing person. He was an old school medicine man. He was Karuk and different tribes as well as white, and he trained with just these amazing medicine people that were just so old school. And he one day we were sitting in my backyard and he says, Jolie, my teachers taught me how to move clouds. Like, she taught me how to work with clouds because we are water, right? And people have been able to do this, right? People have been able to make rain and work with water, the element of water. So he's like, you see that cloud there? I'm going to make it disappear. It was just a little cloud. It was just a little white puffy cloud in the sky, and poof, it was gone. It was gone. I was like, whoa. And then he said, I'm gonna put it over there. Poof, it was there, right? And I'm telling you that not because it's totally cool, but like because people throughout time have had the capacity to work with water and to call in rain and to heal our water. And I think we're moving into a time that we're going to need to do that again. We need to restore our relationship with our water. And that's kind of what Grandma Aggie was saying. So I'm blessing this water. Thank you, water, so much for, I got to plug it in a little better because it's not on. Okay, now my kettle's on. We need to start really praying to our water, especially as we move into droughts and insecure times. And I think that it's the act of praying. It's the act of saying, thank you, water, I love you. I'm so sorry I have to hurt you by boiling you. Thank you for giving me your medicine. It's that act that actually aligns us to be in balance. So prayer does a lot of things, right? Prayer actually helps us remember our place. It's powerful. Okay, so my water is boiling, and I did this really simply, and I decided I was just going to use a tea bag. So I'm guessing most of you have a peppermint tea bag somewhere at home. And if you're using fresh peppermint, that's great too. And I'm just going to put it in my mug. Thank you, Peppermint. So grateful for you. I'm using this cool mug that a friend of mine got me. It says, I love you to the moon and back. And it's got a little bunny, and she's holding a little baby bunny. And so it makes me feel good. So like, love myself. Because I feel like what our business as usual culture does is it gets us to hate ourselves. And when we don't love ourselves, we can be manipulated into like buying all sorts of crap that we don't need, or feeling when we feel bad about ourselves, we're like, I got to prove myself to be somebody better, or look at me. Or, I mean, I do this too. Don't get me wrong. I'm right in there. And I feel like that's part of the disease, the psychic virus that is infecting so much of our world. And so how do we how do we move through this great unraveling of our times into what could be a great turning of times of us remembering our place on earth? And part of that is by loving ourselves, the parts of us that we've like moved into the shadows that we don't even want to see or look at, you know? And gosh, I've got those too, right? And so when we are able to welcome all of those parts of ourselves into the room and welcome them into our cup of tea and said, I see you, you are welcome here, little hurt person, person who is trying so hard to be loved or to be successful, or how am I going to help in this pandemic? Oh my God, what can I do? Because I need to save the world. And while that comes from such a good place in us, everybody does, right? We all really just want to be loved and helped. There's also an element of like doing it from a place of maybe not loving ourselves so much. And when we can rest in that sweetness of the earth, when we can rest in that love of on that breast of our Mother Earth, that's when I feel like the medicine is strongest. Not to say that we can't there's always room for improvement, right? But like, that's sort of, I think, part of the way back to our mother is that we do it in love. Oh, I think my water is boiling. So I'm gonna pour my water in my cup. You guys have probably all made a cup of tea before. Thank you, water. Thank you, Peppermint. And we're gonna wait about 15 minutes, and I wanted to tell a story while our tea was steeping. So this is a story from my teacher, Bobby, like Tom, who died this year. So I feel like I've been telling this story a lot because I just want to honor him. And it's called The Origin of Human Sickness and Medicine. The Origin of Human Sickness and Medicine. And a long time ago, humans and plants and animals and fish and fish are animals, but like all of the fish people and the deer people and the insect people and the plant people, they could all talk, and humans could talk to them. And we had a great relationship with our relations in nature. And then something happened where, human settlements began to grow, and they started taking over and treating life without respect. We see it everywhere, right? And in fact, we're even part of that. I'm part of it. I drive my car. Like I fully recognize that. So humans started living out of balance, and the animals were getting kind of freaked out, and they're like, what do we do? What can we do? And so the bearers met, and they said, these humans, they're out of control. Like, what do we do? And some bears said, well, they use weapons. They use weapons, and maybe we can use weapons against them. And so the weapons, he said, what are the weapons made out of? Weapons are made out of our entrails. So one of the young bears sacrifices himself, and they find some good locust wood, and they make a bow. And then the one of the bears goes to pull the bow, and it doesn't fly right because his claws get caught. And so they realized that in order to use these weapons, they would need to cut off their claws, and that they didn't want to do that. They wanted to just use the claws that the creator gave them. So it's a good thing they decided not to go to war for humans, because we don't want to go to war with bears. So, but the other animals maybe weren't so, I don't know, so smart. I don't know what the word is. So the other animals met in council, and the deer, they were led by this one deer, the chief called Little Deer. And he says, the humans, they kill us without respect. They don't pray for us anymore. So what can we do? And so they said, well, we're going to give them rheumatism. The hunters, what happens when a deer gets killed? The the spirit of the deer will pop up and follow the hunter. And if the hunter doesn't give prayers and respect, it'll follow the little blood-stained trail and then give the hunter rheumatism and arthritis. And it went like this through all of the councils of the animals. And the snakes gave us bad dreams and mental illness, and all of these, and all of the councils met, and there were so many gobs of diseases that came towards us. This is like the origin of human sickness. And then the plant people met, and it took them a really long time to meet because plants are kind of slow. And they met and they said, you know, we humans have always been our allies, and we want to be allies to them too. And so for every illness, for everything that is brought down to the humans, we will be medicine. And it is that way, that for every illness that we have, there's a plant that can heal us. And thus came medicine from the plants. And I love that story because the plants love us so much. I don't know if you guys have experienced that, where it's just, I keep thinking that the plants are going to somehow like be angry with me for living in our culture, but the plants, the other day I was gathering a plant and the plant was like, you know, we're rooting for you. The plants, they want us to heal. They want us to come into balance. So then how do we do that? How do we do that? I mean, I think that's the question for me in these times. What is my prayer for coming into balance? And so I guess I want to take this time now for everybody to just sit quietly and think about what their intention is for their cup of tea. How can we become more in balance? And, you know, I think that when we feel really connected to our Mother Earth, then we get led, right? We get led in this way that like we can't possibly imagine. I'm sure you guys have experienced it. It's like when we stop trying to do when we stop trying to be, I don't know, a leader, when we stop trying to be a great herbalist, or stop trying to talk to the plants, or stop trying to do whatever, when we recognize that our power doesn't come from being separate. Our power comes from being part of this web. And I know for me, when I can tap into that web, when I really can feel that sweetness, when it's not about me at all, that's when the medicine comes. And that's when I think we're going to be led how to move through this time, this great turning of our times, where we can turn back and live in balance on our Mother Earth. And it's paradoxical, right? Because, well, we're drinking peppermint tea and it seems like it's a good time to talk about paradox, but it's paradoxical. When I stop trying to shine, stop trying to show that I somehow am worthy, or that I mean something, or I'm successful, or, you know, all of the things in our culture that are so twisted. When I just, in humility, give it over to our Mama Earth, that's when I feel directed. That's when I feel like I know where I'm supposed to be, and I feel the wisdom downloading. So it's like our power comes from being within that power of life. And, you know, it reminds me of this story of when I was, I spent some time on the Navajo reservation when I was 19, and Peabody Coal wanted to mine all this coal and under the sacred mountain of the Navajo, also called Dene people. And the Dene people, that was their sacred mountain. All of their stories came from there. All of their wisdom and their culture was tied into that mountain. And that's where their power came from, their power with our planet. And Peabody Coal could only see the power in the coal inside the mountain. And I feel like that's what's happening in our culture. It's like, where are we sourcing our power? How are we going to move through this time? And when we recognize our power is together with each other and the earth, it's going to be unstoppable. Because, I mean, we can feel that power together, all of us, right? All of us with our hearts joined, all of us with our 1 cup of tea, with our prayers, with our kindness, with our wanting so badly for people to be healthy and fed and happy all over the world, and for people and for the waters to flow, and for people to treat the earth with respect and love and with prayer. We want so badly for that change, that great turning where people remember our place on the earth. So I think my tea is ready. I'm going to take out my little tea bag. Squeeze it. And I'm going to put a little honey in there because, you know, honey is special stuff, right? Honey is made from nectar from the flowers, and the nectar is the sugar that the flowers are giving over to the pollinators so that they will help them with their sex act, right? So the flowers, they make all this sugar from sunshine, and then they put it into their flowers and they, come help me reproduce, come help me in this act of giving life. And then the bees suck it up, and then they bring it back to their hive and they make magical honey with it. So I wanted to bring in that sweetness. Yeah. So I would love right now for people to maybe say what their prayers are for their cup of tea. And maybe Cami can help me with that and let me know. Is Cami there? Hello? No?
Jolie, there's like a minute lag.
Oh.
So before the comments come in.
Okay.
So it takes a little bit for the comments to come in, and I'll start posting when they come in.
Okay.
So they'll probably be coming in like a minute.
Okay, let me put in so I can see the comments. I'm like, are you there?
Yeah, even last time it takes a minute for them to come in.
Cool. Yeah, I'm just interested to hear what people's prayers are. Prayers of gratitude and pure great mother, yes, and peace. Yeah, peace. That would be really good. To keep the web of life alive and strong. Embracing the planet. Inner peace. My prayer is for wisdom. My prayer is that we could all come together to heal the earth as we see how much we are truly connected. Yeah. Prayers that people know that they are whole, healthy, and perfect. Yes, Tina. Yes. My prayers are for restoration, for optimal health, to return to my body and to our Mother Earth. Yay, Ambi. I don't know how to pronounce your name, but yes. Sherry, I pray and hope that we can find our way back to the earth. Yes, me too. That is my prayer. Jennifer, pray the plants never leave us. Yes. Yeah. Stacy Joe, hi. I pray for groundedness so I'm less in my head and more in my body. More of my body is connected to the earth. Yeah. Thank you. Peace for all. Yeah. Yeah. My prayer is for the healing of the earth, people, animals to be loved, and plant medicine to be common. Yes, Pearl, I share your prayer. To all creatures, great and small, survive what we have done to our Mother Earth. Yeah. Yeah. Many prayers for all that have lost their flight with this horrible virus. Well, lost their fight with this horrible virus. Yeah. Thank you. That through this challenge, we come to understand what we are all one truly means. Yes. I pray for peace and love to understand ourselves and the earth. Yes, Sandra, I agree. I pray for healing of our grief and our hearts. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Praying is for gratefulness. Praying for gratefulness and healing our Mother Earth. Yeah. And I feel like the healing of our Mother Earth is the same as healing of our own selves, right? And healing this this psychic virus that I keep talking about, and I want to talk a little more about it. There's this, I guess, story. I don't even know if it's a story. It's when the Europeans first came to Turtle Island, which is this continent, many of the tribes of the East Coast and the Great Lakes regions thought that they were evil spirits. They thought they were these evil spirits called Wedicos. And Wedicos are, they used to be human. And then they have icy hearts, and they're sort of consumed with greed. And they feel separate from nature, and they gain their power by getting power over and dominating the earth. And Wedicos are this virus that infects, and they infect others, and then they're sort of cannibalistic towards the life force. And the Native people had that myth because I'm sure they had it in their culture too. It's not just Europeans, and not just. I mean, it happens in the human psyche. It's part of what happens when we have trauma. It's part of what happens when we have trauma that we haven't figured out how to resolve. And I feel like that virus of like being separate and needing to have power over, and that virus is what's causing so much of the destruction of our planet. And I have it too when I start thinking, like, oh my God, I'm going to die alone in a nursing home. I need to make sure I make money because I'm going to die alone. And so I need to like make sure that I'm taken care of. And the reality is I am always taken care of, right? Every breath I take, I'm taken care of. I will never die alone because I am in this web of life. So anyway, the psychic virus that we all have, it's impossible to live in this culture without being infected by it a little bit. And I feel like that's what's causing us to destroy our planet. And really the way to heal that is inside ourselves, is to go back and love ourselves. And well, we all have to do it our own ways, right? And we're all in the process of it. But the psychic virus has, I think, given birth to this pandemic. We've cut down the forests, and we've like gone in and killed the animals. And in the case of Corona, we've caged animals and sold them for food. And then the virus jumps ship, right, and goes into humanity. And it's sort of our greed and I'm not saying this so we feel bad about ourselves. That's not, no, because that's just more down that Wedico rabbit hole. But when we remember our place, that's when we start the healing. And I feel like the plants are there for us to help us in that healing. And so this cup of tea, I want to dedicate to that healing, that deep healing, that personal healing that we must do to love ourselves and all of the, get rid of all the shame that we have about what we are not, and just be able to love where we are, love who we are, accept that. And here we are together in this circle, and we're all with the intent of loving, of just sending love out into the universe and healing and kindness. And that is part of that's part of how we heal. We join together with our hearts, and we move, as Cami said, from our head into our heart, and we learn what feels right. And this is something I think is really, I think Cami and I were talking about it today. It's like, what feels right? How do we know when we're acting on behalf of life? And, I think sometimes when we can get twisted in our trauma, we lose the ability to know this feels right, this doesn't feel right, right? And it's going back into that, it feels good. Like I know when, that's how we get cues of how Mother Earth is speaking to us. It's like that, we get kind of like that love. We know it's like a good feeling because our Mother Earth is kind and generous and sweet. And we can tap into that and propel ourselves on that sweetness. Anyway, I feel like it's time to drink a little tea. May we be healed. May our Mother Earth be healed. May we remember our place. May we live in balance. May our waters run clean and strong. May the rains come. May we remember how to use plants for medicine. May we remember our relationships with our relations in nature, our animals and our plants, so we can have be welcomed back. May our circle of all of you amazing, wonderful, kind, healing, loving people, may the medicine we make together benefit all life, benefit ourselves, help us move through this place of unbelievable potential for change, even though it's scary. Help us move into this great turning, even as all our systems are unraveling. And may we learn how to tap into our sweet Mama Earth that will speak through us, that will show us the way. We don't need to look to somebody else, right? We are part of this earth. We just need to tap into that part of ourselves. And it's, it's easier said than done, but it seems like we're all taking that step. We're all in this together. We're all praying that we will be a force of good with our mother, that we will weave ourselves back into this beautiful fabric of life and be a source of healing. And I feel so honored to be part of this. And I think that I feel like I want to open it up to hear what people have to say, while we drink our tea. So. Strong messages for us to think about. Wisdom we must learn. Carolyn, thank you. Medicine circle feels very strong today. Thank you, Cami, Lanny, and Jolie. Thank you, Nerys. Yeah, I feel like it's kind of cool that it's like been building, right? Like that's so neat that I can come in and sort of gather some of that medicine from the last 2 days. I will never look at mint tea again the same again. That's awesome because everyone's got a cup of it, right? Everyone probably has a tea bag floating around in their drawer. Yeah. Thank you for holding and creating this space. You're welcome, Lindsay. It's my pleasure. May we be blessed. May we grow and heal. So be it. Yes. Thank you, Zephyrin. So be it. I pray that we all know the truth of our connection to each other and the earth. Yeah. Thank you, Kristen. Yes. Lisa, I've thanked my tea for helping me be strong and for giving me inner peace to send out healing into the world. Yeah. Send out healing into the world. That's what we want. We want to be a source of healing. We want to be healed and a source of healing. Yes. Sit in blessed silence with you sipping and thinking. Thank you, Tina. Yeah. Prayers for the utilization of organizing principles, truth, justice, love, connection, reciprocity, and light. For all of us to reconnect to our Mother Earth and all the beings, and most importantly, the true self. Yes. Most importantly, the true self that knows the wisdom of the earth. We know it. And when we know it, right? That's like our compass, right? I hope that we can all like hone our compasses to know like that true north, that what is our true self. As Cami was talking about that too. When we know our true self, our true nature, when we awaken our true nature, things are going to be really different on Mother Earth, hopefully. Right? That's what we're going for. Yeah. Praying for gratefulness, healing energy for Mother Earth. Yes. A beautiful consciousness for everyone that we care for each other, ourselves, and the earth. Yeah, I'm praying for that too. Praying for the water and the herbs enter my body and connect me to the earth. Praying for help to teach us all how we are, all connected. Yes, thank you. Yeah, we are all connected. We can gather together and ground to help Mother Earth. Yes. Yeah, I'm praying for that. Francis says, I'm dedicating today's tea ceremony to my 93-year-old mother who is well and happy and has lived through so much. My mother is British. We were raised with afternoon tea every day. It was a special time each day. We talked about the good always in those moments. So grateful. Thank you. Oh, that's so nice. Wish I had a mom who drank tea with me every day and said nice things. Yeah. That's lovely. And maybe we can do that for each other too. I mean, we are doing it for each other. We're creating that tea ritual that we can all maybe draw on that sweetness. And, it's like we're creating muscle memory, and that's what's going to get us through that muscle memory of being connected to something greater than ourselves. Muscle memory. Oh, Natasha said, what beautiful stories and prayers. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. Yeah, I'm just really honored to be here. And I don't know if there's much else that I have to share except, the the plants are really wise, and they're always calling to us. They're always calling to us. They want us back. They've always been our allies, and they're trying to remind us of our place. Remind us of our place. And they will show us the way if we can get out of the way. If we can as Cami was saying, get ourselves out of the way, and we can listen, and we can help each other do that. And I'm so grateful for this circle of people, because that's what we're all trying to do together with each other. We're sending our prayers and our intentions out to the world, that we be healed and we be connected to something greater than ourselves. And that, hi, Cami.
Hi, Jolie. Oh my gosh, that's so beautiful. Thank you. Your stories. It's, I'm just so grateful that, just your thoughts about remembering our connection, just remembering that we are nature. We don't have to search for it. We just have to take a breath and remember and give thanks for that breath, and just receive that breath with awareness, right?
Yeah. Because we're already there. I mean, this idea that we're separate is sort of part of that disease.
Right.
The idea that we have to try really hard, which I, lived for a long time, and the plants helped me see differently, thank God. But yeah, I mean, we don't have to try. We're connected. We're all connected.
Yeah. So the ability to just, when we take that breath, to just know that breath, that we are nature, and to give thanks for that breath so much. And, when we really just go into how thankful we are for our breath, eventually our heart can open. And then when our heart's open, we can remember how to give back and take care of the earth, really receive her and take care of her. And you've just so embodied tonight again, I had a vision to do this. I had no idea what it was going to be, but it's what I'm really feeling is the awakening of the medicine circle gathering for all of us. And as we awaken the medicine circle, remember that we need to have our medicine circle to help us remember our place on this earth. And so this gathering, these tea ceremonies, I hope that everybody here is inspired to start gathering your medicine circle, whether it be one person or 3 people or 5 people, and start remembering, as Jolie has so beautifully said, start remembering your place on this earth. And in that, may we restore the water with the power of the medicine circle. When we make herbal medicine with intention, when we join our herb, our tea with our heart and our hands, and then we settle into listening to the guidance of the earth and the plants. And as Jolie again has said so amazingly, we tap into that part of ourselves, that we remember that we are earth, we are the earth, we are nature, and whatever happening around us is us. And so thank you, Jolie. Thank you for this wonderful cup of peppermint tea.
Thank you, Cami, for the vision and for making this happen, and for, I'm so grateful for you. I'm so grateful that you just was like, I'm doing it. And, it's wonderful. So just appreciate all of you out there who have joined us to drink a cup of tea and to pray for the healing of our planet. Like, what an amazing thing. Thank you.
Yeah. And don't forget to check out Jolie's, all her amazing offerings at gowild.org. And okay, everybody, have a good evening. Take care.
Thank you. Good night.